And I certainly don't have I'm not in an arrogant way,
Yeah.
but in a way, just allowing yourself to be where you are when you're there and not making any apologies for it.
Yeah.
That landed with me. So I'm trying to integrate that into my own self-confidence and the way that I do my music, not with bitterness or hostility or arrogance, like I said, but with clear boundaries and agency. And yeah, this is what I'm doing. If you like it, great. If you don't, just skip,
Welcome to Curious Goldfish, a podcast community where music and curiosity come together through interesting conversations with the music makers of our world. I'm your host, Jason English. You can find Curious Goldfish on all the major podcast and social media platforms. And of course, we have all of our content on our website, curiousgoldfish.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Curious Goldfish. I'm your host, Jason English. Guess who's back? That's right, the pride of Memphis, Tennessee, Cyrena Wages, returns to the show. We caught up the morning after a performance she had in Nashville in August 2025. It's only been about 18 months since our first chat, and so much has changed. I first met her when she was on tour in Atlanta, and I've seen her perform 3 more times since, including that August night in Skinny Dennis in Nashville. We talked about her old connection to the Nashville music industry. She was signed really young, and how that experience kind of spit her out. But now she's back in Nashville every month and is doing things on her own terms. She's been touring all over the country too, but she's not letting go of the city that she calls home. All of those shows, all of those performances have really developed her confidence. You can see it each and every time. On this episode, she shares a lot of new news, including a new album, but probably more importantly, an engagement that I don't think she's made too big a deal about yet. We talk about both, so please stick around. A big congrats to Cyrena on all the good things that's happening to her, and a heartfelt thank you to her for sitting down for one of my first episodes almost 2 years ago. If you haven't listened to that, it provides a great backdrop on Cyrena's journey, her thoughts on being raised as a young girl in the South, and more about her debut solo album, Vanity Project. The episode is available on Spotify and on the Curious Goldfish YouTube channel. But now, here's a new conversation with the talented songwriter and performer. I'm grateful she's back. From Memphis, Tennessee, here's Cyrena Wages. Let's dive in.
Cyrena.
Hi.
It's so good to see you again.
It's so good to see you, Jason.
I really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, bright and early. Sunday morning.
So you and I go way back, about 18 months.
Yeah, I feel like I've known you for longer, but you brought that up a second ago, and I realized it's only been
18 months. But I appreciate you because I reached out to you cold when you were coming to Atlanta, and you were nice enough to talk with me. So that meant a lot because I was just starting this thing up, and you actually gave me probably the biggest compliment I've ever gotten from someone that's not part of my family, which is you called me rock and roll. And I was like, I'm not rock and roll. I'm like the least rock and roll person. You're like, no, man. You're like, you reached out and this is rock and roll. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
So I appreciate that because it gave me just that much more confidence.
I remember thinking that. I remember thinking you just showed up at the venue with this stranger that you hit up on Instagram, which is how you have to do it.
Right,
When you're
right.
starting anything. Same for myself. You showed up with your microphone, and we did it before the show, and you asked incredible deep questions, and you were like, great to meet you, catch you later. And I thought, hell yeah. I like that guy a lot.
No, that was great. It was a great show, and I've actually seen you now 3 times since then. So I saw you at Eddie's Attic in Decatur. Saw you about a year ago at the Earl.
Yeah.
With Chaparral, which was awesome. And then last night here at Skinny Dennis in Nashville. And I got to say, I'm not a music critic. I don't know all the things, but the confidence level for you is it's night and day.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's just from a casual observer. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I'm grateful to hear you say that. I mean, it's a hard fought hard-won confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's been, someone told me a long time ago that like learning how to do music will also teach me how to do my life. And I feel that way. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely like a growth mindset girl. I like will probably never be fully satisfied with my own performance or, talent. I'll always be trying to get better endlessly, relentlessly. But I do feel like I've come into my own in some ways that took me a really long time. And I feel more confident. Yeah. So I'm glad that you noticed that.
Yeah, no, it's just how the stage presence, the voice, how you interact. Yeah, because like you weren't bad at Eddie's Attic when I saw you, but it was like you and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Right. So that's different dynamic than, I mean, the last night you had a full band, so I know that gives you a little more oomph. But
well, tour teaches you that too. So
yeah.
When I met you, that was the first show of my first solo tour.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah,
nervous, and I'm always nervous. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever lose
Yeah.
that. I was nervous last night, but yeah, on that first tour, we were working out a lot of kinks. And I feel like every show is like that. Like every show, I like figure a couple things out, and a couple things are rocky, and I'm just like trying to piece it all together as I go. But yeah, we're getting there.
I mean, how many shows have you done probably since then? If that was your first, because you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All sorts of venues, LA,
All sorts of venues,
Southeast, everywhere, right?
Yeah. Some like really badass venues that are so large, and you get like an imposter syndrome because you're like, how am I here? And then also some of like the shittiest dive bars you've ever seen in your life, and you're like, yeah, here we go, like I'm still in it. But yeah, we played a lot of shows, putting in those 10,000 hours.
Yeah, no, that's good. So we're here in Nashville. I think when we talked, you talked about your journey, Memphis and then Nashville, and being part of the machine. And the fact that you were kind of spit out and that you went back to Memphis. So here you are back in Nashville. What is your relationship with Nashville now?
I've always loved Nashville.
Yeah.
It's just that my journey here was like very typical in that I was sort of like signed really young and put into this band, and like it happened on like our first show. It was almost an accident, My first project here in town was with my brother and my ex-boyfriend. Wonderful, wonderful human. But I was like 20 years old, and all of a sudden in this band with like, the first guy I'd ever really dated, and it was just wild. And then you've got all these sort of legal entities that are attached to your little baby band project. And so we got wrapped up in the Nashville machine, and it like took probably a decade of my life and then sort of spit me out, like you said. And I was forced to start over and figure out how to do this right this time.
Yeah.
Not that I'd done anything wrong, but how to do it on my own terms this time. And that also was like during COVID, and it's just a wild journey. But yeah, I'm still based in Memphis, and I'm in Nashville every month. And I just needed a little bit of a palate cleanser. I needed to like stay away for a while and like remind myself of like, who am I? Why did I start doing this? What do I really sound like without all the other voices in my ears, And now I feel like I can come back to Nashville and I feel like rooted in my thing.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for the city. I mean, this is where it happens.
Yeah.
This is where people like you come and meet with artists, and venues like last night pack it out, and people have such a hunger for music here and for original music, so yeah.
So when you're here that much, are you tempted to kind of get back again, not repeat the past, but are you tempted to step back into the machine a little bit with all the things that involves, or are you so confident in your roots now that it's almost like they can come to me and like, I'm going to do it,
Yeah. I feel like, yes, I would love a team. I would love the right label partner if it makes sense. I would love management if it makes sense. I would love to be a part of the machine here, but I'm not going to lose myself. The confidence that you kindly commented on. Like I got me now, I'm not a young gun, and it's not my first rodeo. And so I feel like I can have a both and situation where I can be a part of the larger Nashville music industry and be like really solid in what Cyrena Wages sound and brand is. And so then in that case, it's just such an asset to be here. I mean, the industry professionals, the resources, freaking great. But I'll say too, if I'm in Nashville for a couple weeks, writing, playing, whatever I'm doing, as I pull back into Memphis, as I'm like driving in my little I-40 loop downtown, as soon as I get off the highway, I'm like, I'm
good.
home. You know,
That's
Memphis
good.
is my home. I can't ever leave.
Yeah. Well, on that point, you made a point of that when we talked, right? And it feels like watching your social media and all those things, and the partnerships that you have with like the vintage shops and
Yeah.
some of the collectives and things like that. It seems like your role as like a Memphis ambassador has elevated.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's sincere. You know, my family, everyone was born and raised.
Yeah.
Really outside of Memphis, Millington, a little country sort of town in North Shelby County. But, you know, my parents met in Memphis. They both grew up in Memphis, and our like roots run really deep, and I really care about the city, and it's got an underdog thing. It always has. And I root for the underdog anyways. But as a city, like it's a hotbed of so much talent and love, and such a melting pot of different types of humans and ideologies, and like I just believe in it, and I want to be an ambassador for it. So I hope you're right. That I hope I'm, you know, spreading the good word. But
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's other amazing musicians there that I probably don't follow and don't have.
I need to turn you on to some.
Well, a connection with like I do with you, but I mean, what better ambassador than you know, and your story. So that's awesome. So when we met 18 months ago, you were a few months away from the release of Vanity Project.
Yeah.
Have you heard from that producer?
Oh yeah, he's a good friend.
Well, not the producer of the album, the producer, the producer.
Common mistake. So I always tell the story that you're sort of commenting on, that, you know, some music business guys before listening to the record called it a vanity project, and that's why I named it Vanity Project. People often go, "Is that Matt Ross Spang that said that about you, the friend that produced my record?" And no, let me set the record straight. Matt Ross Spang is the most incredible, supportive, unbelievably talented dude. But I have heard from the fella.
No, you haven't. All right, you got to tell me. How'd that happen?
You know, he never commented directly that he was totally aware that he was the reason for this whole story,
but he didn't acknowledge.
But he listened to the record. Yeah.
Oh, so you know you heard it.
He heard the record. But you know, there's that title, that Vanity Project title. It wasn't just one person either. It was like sort of it had been shared with me over a decade.
It was the aggregate.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it was just, you know, in all the different ways, especially as a woman in the South, that title I feel like had been handed to me.
Right.
Even as a little girl growing up. So, yeah, it wasn't just this poor son of a gun's bad.
Did you just run into him, or did he proactively reach out?
He reached out. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good for that. Yeah.
He reached out.
I mean, how empowering is that?
It's pretty good.
Right?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got to know, right?
He knows.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Well, again, what was cool about that conversation that we had, and then listening to the album and like the cover art and everything, you told me that you were still dealing with, and you'll probably deal with it for the rest of your life, those days as a pageant girl.
Yeah.
And again, all the narrative around in the South around women. But what was funny is like you sort of acknowledged it with the sash.
Yeah.
So you're not completely distancing yourself, right?
Yeah.
I like that touch. Yeah.
Yeah, juxtaposition, right? Yeah. Like, I think a lot about like allowing yourself to dress a certain way and present a certain way, and being okay with certain like glamorous aspects of yourself, while also asking that it not be something that's used against you. Like it's confusing, but yeah, I just wanted to take back over control of that narrative in my own way.
Right.
There's a book that I read by an author named Glennon Doyle, and there was a passage that talked about Alicia Keys when she was on The Voice TV show as one of those shows, you know, where she was a judge or whatever. And Adam Levine was another judge. And at this time, Alicia Keys didn't wear makeup. Her whole thing was like, I don't wear any makeup, right? And Adam Levine walked into the dressing room and she was putting on some lipstick, and he said, "I thought you didn't wear makeup anymore." And she says, "I'm Alicia Keys. I do what the F I want." And that was written in this passage, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't have I'm not in an arrogant way,
Yeah.
but in a way, just like allowing yourself to be where you are when you're there and not making any apologies for it.
Yeah.
That landed with sing. So I'm trying to integrate that into my own self-confidence and the way that I do my music, not with bitterness or hostility or arrogance, like I said, but with clear boundaries and agency. And yeah, this is what I'm doing. If you like it, great. If you don't, just skip.
That's good. Well, how many people in these crappy dive bars that you're mentioning earlier, and other great venues, but how many women have come up to you and given you feedback about inspiring them or empowering them with this whole journey that you've been on? Have you heard that since the album release?
I have heard that.
Yeah.
And I find this music pursuit to be really challenging. And if something like that happens, if a girl comes up and is moved by a lyric, it's sort of it clicks me right back into oh yeah, that's the point. That's the point. It sort of brings me back to church a bit. That's why we're doing this. And it's very, very flattering to have anyone's, heart or mind shifted by a lyric of mine. And that's why I made it. I made it because I had to say it.
Right.
And you can get caught up real easily in this path to success, and you can really lose the plot. But there's nothing more flattering than someone going "Oh, that lyric, that got to me," So yeah, those have been really nice moments. Very grateful for that.
Has any feedback surprised you?
I didn't write that record or the next one for the girls, but I definitely thought, that this is a more female audience. But when men react to the songs, that surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of guys say "Carried Away," I love that song, and they they'll text me when they're in their car listening to it, and I'm "Are you listening to the words? This is about but I love that.
That's cool.
I'm "You're invited to the party as well, gentlemen. You can come."
It's a big tent.
Yeah.
That's great.
Room for all of us here.
Yeah. So, okay, so that it's in the rear view a little bit, right? And you've released some singles recently. Do you have a new album plan?
Yeah, I do. I have a whole second record made.
Does it have a name?
It's called, I can't remember if I told anyone this yet. I don't think I have.
Breaking news. Perfect.
Breaking news. Miss Melancholia.
Miss Melancholia. Okay.
Yeah.
Melancholy. You don't seem too melancholy.
I know I'm really having a good time these days. I'm really in a good place, but there's always a fair dose of darkness and inside my brain and inside my art, I suppose.
Okay.
So yeah, it is a more fun record though, even though it's titled Miss Melancholia. I get it.
Now the juxtaposition.
Very relative, but it's got a bite and a sarcasm and a swagger, and yeah, I'm excited for everyone to hear it. It's cool. I'm proud of it.
No, that's great. I've read where you say I always live in the deep end, but I'm not drowning now.
God, that does sound so dark, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, it sounds hopeful too, because
Yeah.
you're not drowning anymore.
Yeah, I'm not. Vanity Project, suffering is relative, right? But it doesn't have to be comparative. Everyone's entitled to their own experience. And I did feel some years of despair, and Vanity Project was written out of a lot of those sentiments. And I'm not in that place anymore. I'm in a really good place. But at the end of the day, the battles I have in my head about what my future looks like and what my past looks like and how to make sense of this whole journey, there's the ebb and flow and the tug of war of light and dark in there. And so in writing these songs, we went in feeling good. And Johnny Black and Amy Muriello, my co-writers, Johnny would make these incredible tracks, and we would sort of write to those as prompts. And we didn't Tennessee, baby, isn't it beautiful?
They're joining you.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
They like the record. They're like, yeah. Yeah, we went in and we were like just having a good time. And so it would be like these sort of like upbeat, fun melodies, but these like sort of witchy
Okay.
concepts. So you'll just have to see.
Is the timing early next year?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some more singles. I don't know when this podcast will come out, but
Yeah.
some more singles will probably be released this fall, 25, and the record will be sometime first half of 26.
Okay.
Trying to sort a couple things, as it goes.
The machine is a little bit of that.
A little bit of that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be cool. I'm excited, and I've sort of started like developing concepts for the next two. Like you always got to stay ahead of yourself,
Yeah. Already you're thinking about the next two.
Yeah, like not forcing it,
Yeah.
but things are coming to
Yeah.
me, and I'm going, well, wait a second. Miss Melancholia is kind of written, and it's over here, and so I think this is like the next season of my weird brain. Like this goes into season 3.
Yeah. So, all right. So debut album done. Next album in the can, as they say, I guess. You're already thinking about the next few. I guess, where do you think you are as an artist today, and where do you want to be?
Oh, I have to remind myself, as cliche as it is, to really enjoy the process and have fun on the journey. I want to be touring all the time. I want to be opening for artists that I respect and being put in front of their crowds. I want to cut through the masses, and I want these songs and these lyrics to be heard by tons of people. Right now, it's still like absolutely a grassroots operation, and I'm on the climb.
Right.
I'm not at the very bottom of the mountain, but I am surely not at the top either. So, but I'll never get to the top, right? Like I'll never feel the top.
But progress is progress.
Progress is
You got to be
progress.
proud of that, right?
I'm so proud of it. And if there ever comes a day where I don't want to wake up after like 2 hours of sleep and go talk about my record, then like maybe that's when I go, okay, I think you've done it for now and you need to move on.
Oh, wow.
But I'm so far from that.
Yeah.
I'm like more fired up now than I was 10 years ago. So I'm just hustling.
Are you really, like, the motivation is like accelerating?
It's accelerating.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Like I feel younger somehow with age.
Yeah.
And I feel lighter and I feel more confident. And this record, I'm so proud of. And Johnny and Amy and I all have like a really electric feeling about it and a lot of hope. And yeah, the well is full. So.
That's great. Well, I just noticed the ring.
Yeah.
So when did that happen? And who's the lucky guy?
I got engaged. I never talk about this, but I like it. I got engaged around Christmas.
Did you really? Okay.
Of 24.
Is this the guy that you went to Leadville with?
It is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
In my like real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have like Cyrena Wages, like C Money, I like to say. It's like my persona that like helps me survive my like cerebral headiness. Like C Money puts me out in the world, and then like Psy is where I just like exist
Okay.
with my family and like do things like support my fiance and his races and whatnot. Yeah, he's a big cyclist.
Okay.
Not professionally, he could be, but he loves to race, and so yeah, we went and did Leadville in Colorado. That was crazy.
I mean, the elevation there is insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I was ill just like walking.
Yeah.
To the different stops to see and support him. But, I'm glad that he got brought up because a lot of my confidence is from this love. Like the way he has forced me to evolve into the strongest version of myself. And the way that I've watched him conquer things like a Leadville, like the mental agility and resilience of that man. I'm going to cry. He's taught me a lot. We are definitely like complete polar opposites, like yin yang. I'm the yang. He keeps me grounded, but man, you can learn a lot from your opposite. Like, what a powerful combo.
What do you think he's learned from you?
Everything. I'm just kidding. I think he would say I brought him into some of his depths. I think he would say my soul has like helped him expand his own soul a bit. That's wishful thinking. I think he would say that. I know he would say that. Yeah, I am like all of this, you know, and he's like all of this. And at first we definitely were like, this will be fun while it lasts. This makes no sense at all. And then it lasted. And we were like, you know what? I want to kill you all the time because we are polar opposites, and also we are really good for each other. So let's just lock it in. Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome. So I speak, you know, as a middle-aged male here, a lot of men, including myself, we fight with insecurity all the time, right?
Loved it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. And men, you know, don't like to talk about it or whatever, but, you know, I have a girlfriend.
I was going to ask if it was appropriate.
Yeah. No, I have a girlfriend. We've been dating 2 years. It's, you know, it's a real thing. We're committed to each other. It's awesome. And she's gorgeous and she's successful and she's smart. And when she's out, you know, I have to kind of check my insecurity. But I'm secure. Like, I'm secure and confident. And I think guys, like, we have to be like that when we're with strong women like yourself. So I would imagine, I mean, the guy, if he's cycling in Leadville, he's a badass.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like he's probably pretty secure, because to be engaged to someone like you who's up on stage singing, meeting all these strangers, you know, all the things, for him to be able to be comfortable with that, like, says a lot about him.
It does.
Right.
Yeah. And I could say the same to you, given your situation that you just shared. But yeah, I mean, I've dated wonderful people. I have always dated incredible men. Do not get me wrong. Like, had the most like loving, beautiful partners, but I definitely have never experienced security and like freedom to not have to shrink myself like I have in this relationship. He actually got to come to my show last night. He doesn't get to come very often, but you know, he packed up my merch while he saw me talk to a line of dudes.
Yeah.
And like take pictures, 100%. And they were like, you know, nothing inappropriate, but yeah, the typical kind of thing. And he doesn't like miss a beat with that, you know. And
a lot of guys would have a big problem with that, right?
Hard time. No, there's a boundary.
Right.
There's a respectful boundary.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I'm like, damn, could you just like be a little jealous for a second? Like, give me something to work with. But it teaches me my own. Like, I got to keep, you know, I got to also like give each other the freedom and the space. I have, where is it? I have Eros tattooed on my arm from Esther Perel. We might have talked about this. Feels like something we might have gone into.
We may have gone into it, yeah.
But Esther Perel is the like, relationship and love like thought leader who talks about like she wrote the book Mating in Captivity, but her whole thing is like, you can never have another person. You are lucky to be partnered and to be in close proximity, but you never have anyone. And like desire thrives in space and trust thrives in space. And so these are lessons I certainly haven't like fully figured out, but I'm figuring it out. Yeah.
Is there a wedding date?
No.
That's good, right?
There's not.
That doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm going on tour. I'm manifesting like a world fucking tour, and I'm sure not go to that world, but I'm we're definitely gonna get married at some point. Every time we start talking about it, we get overwhelmed and we're like, let's have a martini and figure this out later. So we'll get married before I'm 85, but I don't know. It's all good.
Well, no, like it's awesome. All right. Well, I'm so happy for you.
I'm so happy for you. Once the camera stopped rolling, we got to unpack this a little further.
We'll get into it. She actually lived in Memphis for a bit. Yeah, she worked at St. Jude.
Okay, quite amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a small town. I feel like I'm related to everyone in Memphis. So.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah, she's good. Well, that's cool. So, curiosity. I don't know if you remember the answer, but I ask everybody when they join the podcast about, you know, what they're most curious about. And when we met 18 months ago, you said something that was interesting. You're like, I'm curious about having the freedom of curiosity. And you went into this whole like beautiful narrative. But I guess at this point, now that you're engaged, all the success, the progress, the momentum, everything, like where are you at today, and what are you most curious about now?
I think I'm most curious, like, if on this journey of life you ever get to a place where there are less tabs open in your head and heart, like that's just the first thing that came to me. Like, I find that I probably said this last time, I don't know, because I haven't listened back to it, but I find the human experience to be complicated. I don't know if you feel that way or not. Like, I'm sure there's a diagnosis for this, but I don't find it to be linear or simple. I overthink probably, or maybe everyone else underthinks. I don't know. But I have so many tabs open, questions open, and like lions I feel like I'm trying to like slay, and dreams I'm trying to accomplish, and questions I'm trying to answer for myself. And I don't know if I'm doing something right to get to those answers, or if I'm doing something wrong that's keeping me from those answers, or if there is ever even a world or a space and time where those tabs close. Maybe when one closes, another one opens, and that is what we do till we die. I don't know. But it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just an open and endless like journey to try to figure it out. And I don't know if you ever figure it out.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, there's a song there somewhere, like
Yeah.
too many tabs open or something. There's probably a song there to explore.
What are you most curious about?
Well, why I started the podcast, I'm just curious about music.
Yeah.
And, for someone like you, when I met you first, I'm just fascinated that someone like you or whoever will drive 8 hours to do a gig, and you're not quite sure if 2 people will be there or if 200 people will be there. So like that's what actually sparked this, because you have a great story. A lot of people I've talked to have amazing stories, and the line between quote unquote making it and not making it, it's so thin. And so that's what drove me to this, is, understanding what drives people to create the art and to put in the work.
Yeah.
Because like you can make it based on your own aspirations and own definition of success. And most people that I've talked to, they're not Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But they're so good, and you're so good and so talented, and everybody deserves to hear your story. So that's why I've been curious about.
Yeah.
So
I love what you do, and you're already successful at it, and it's going to be even more successful because you ask like intentional, thoughtful questions, and you spark like really important conversations, and it's so refreshing.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot.
And you're rock and roll, man.
I'm rock and roll. I'm still rock and roll.
About you. You are. You're so rock and roll. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, good luck with the new album.
Thank you.
So good to see you. And to quote someone in your life, knock down the door and tell him, "Do we sing?"
My dad. Love it.
Thanks, Cyrena.
Love it. Thank you.